Welcome to Sportsline, brought to you by Ace Hardware, New Kensington, AKLC Studios in Leechburg, Arnold Furniture, 5th Avenue, Buffalo Bills, New Kensington, Fazio's Deli and Meats in Arnold, Highland Tire, Toronto and Natrona Heights, Mattio's Pizza and Subs, Brackenridge Heights, Resevich Family Funeral Homes, Lower Burl in Arnold, 380 Discount Warehouse, Murraysville, Tower Auto in Blawnox, and Westmoreland Insurance Services of New Kensington. Well, we welcome you once again to Sportsline Trivia. Nice to have you with us tonight as we celebrate a Steeler victory. The Penguins have only lost one. Pirates may be out of it, but we had one heck of a season. Mike, welcome to the program again.
It's celebrating a Steeler victory. I forgot what that was like. It's been, the last time they won,
a bit of a drought.
They haven't won a game. That was the first game they won in the calendar year of 2013. The last game they won was before New Year's. They beat the Cleveland Browns last year at home. Last game of the season, might have been the 20th, it might have been the 30th of December. They won no exhibition games, and they won none of their first four. Yeah. It's been a drought is the correct word.
Well, they were over 2013 to begin with. So anyway, welcome to the program. The phone number here is area code 724, then 236-0430. That's the number to get in touch with us, and once you do, we'll have an opportunity to get your thoughts on some sports subjects, and after which we'll give you an opportunity to win a trivia prize. Let's take a look at.
Some of these are really good today. I was just going through the list.
Yeah.
Some of them are.
We were talking about.
Some could even stump the host.
Never. All right, let's take a look at the rules and regulations. I know one thing, Mildred, the cleaning lady, passes every week, gets them.
She's terrific.
Gets them all.
Oh, I know. She, I don't know what she does in her spare time, but it must be reading books and surfing the internet.
All right, you can win a prize here on the program every other week, Grand Salami or the Mystery Profile. You can win one or the other in a calendar month, and you can only try the Mystery Profile once in a calendar month. 15 seconds will give you 4 multiple choice questions, 20 seconds for the Grand Salami. Mystery Profile goes clue by clue. First time callers get 2 or more prizes with the correct answer. If you've not called the show in over a year, you are a first time caller. Also, my website has the answers to the various trivia questions on this show, and all you got to do is go online and with the daily trivia, make some notes, and you could be an easy winner. Tune into my radio sports history show Saturday mornings on WAVL at 10 a.m. WAVL is 910 on the AM dial. We'll take a break. We'll come back, and we'll kick off the program tonight talking, I'm sure, Steeler football.
Woohoo.
Stay with us.
Husqvarna, taming the wild.
Westmoreland Insurance Services isn't like your ordinary insurance agency. Not only can you get a variety of quotes from leading insurance companies, but you can purchase that protection through Westmoreland Insurance. Accidents happen. Are you prepared? You can be with a wide range of homeowners insurance options from Westmoreland Insurance Services. Putting your family's safety in their family's hands for almost 40 years. Give them a call, 724-337-3557. My First Book on Sports is available not only through the internet, but at various local businesses in the AK Valley. It's Bob Tattern's Sports Minutes. Short sports stories, odd and unusual, fascinating and funny, only take about a minute to read. Go online to doubletripplebob.com, where links are provided for Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and Word Association to get book information. Get your copy locally at Costello Printing in Tarentum, Blackburn's in Tarentum, Myrna's Brewery Outlet in New Kensington, or the Hot Dog Guys Lower Borough. When you're shopping for a pre-owned vehicle, you get the best in product, the best in selection, the best customer communication, and best service after the sale. We're talking, of course, Tower Auto Sales, where you just buy it. Tower Auto, Freeport Road in Blawnox, right at the traffic light. 412-828-6202 is the number. Mike Fanto is in charge. Give him a call and tell good old Mike that we sent you. Okay, let's jump to the phones right now. Tony is on the line, chomping at the bit. I've heard that line 1,000 times. Tony, what's going on?
Not much. How about you guys?
We're here and kicking.
Hang it in there.
Somebody win yesterday?
Yeah, I was kind of surprised. That was if you looked at it, and I said this yesterday morning to a couple of people, that, taking the Steelers out of the equation completely, because we all know what they are. And that was that if you were, that was a really good day to get the Jets, because the Jets had just come off a pretty big Monday night win on the road at Atlanta and looked very good doing it. Next week they play New England, their arch rival and the team that they always get up for. And then you kind of stick this game in between there against a team that hadn't won a game and really hadn't shown much at all. And you could see where they, of all people, might have a letdown. And it's really kind of the way it worked out. And, the Steelers, of course, had to take advantage of that, which they did, and good for them. I mean, they played well enough to win the game and should be.
Four more like that, and I'll be right about 5.
You're going to win. I have the list in front of me here. I was just putting it into a proper order. We don't have anybody that picks 6 wins, which that's where it's going to end.
What did I pick?
You picked 9, and so did George. Yeah, that might. Well, it's not as bad as me. I picked 11. I don't know what I was. I was on that pirate high then. I don't know what I was doing. But yeah. So we'll see what's going on with that, Tony. But we'll make sure the winner gets something. But you're going to have to get it right on the nose. That's for sure.
Okay, but. In the meantime, they lose their linemen before they even start playing.
First of all, the trade was stupid to begin with. I don't know what they were doing getting this guy. If it was just for depth to be a backup guy so they could, it's almost like they want to completely deprogram Mike Adams and start over from scratch with him.
Well, you know what? There's an old saying, you can't make chicken soup with chicken poop.
No
and we got a lot of that down there, it seems like.
Well, I'll tell you what, Tony. I thought Beecham, after he was a little bit shaky the first couple series, I thought he settled down and played just fine. That's a really good defensive line the Jets have. They completely tortured the Falcons last Monday night. And, Ben got sacked 3 times, and they were early. It should have been 4. They should have had him for that safety in the end zone. I thought that was a big play that he was able to get out of that.
Yeah.
But,
how many sacks yesterday?
There was 4, but Antonio Brown got sacked once, so I'm not counting that one because for some reason Sam White snuck into the press box and called a play for us on that goal down at the goal line. I don't know what the heck that was. But, it all worked out. They played a little bit better. They didn't turn it over. They took 2 away. And they were good enough to beat a bad team, which I think the Jets are, and we'll see what happens going forward. But I still think they stink. That's my default position now.
I agree with you 100%. There ain't too many bad teams they're going to be playing from here on in, I don't think. Not too many.
Well, there are a few, but they're going to play Oakland in a couple of weeks, but they have to go out there, and you know what happens out there.
Yeah, and they got to play New England.
Right, the Patriots come after that. The Ravens are going to be smart and coming in here next week.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they're good enough to beat the Ravens. There's no doubt about that. But I don't know how that'll all line up.
Well, it depends who shows up, right?
Well, yeah, and here's the other thing too. I don't know how many times in a row it is, but it is a couple. When the Ravens have played the Steelers at Pittsburgh, Ben's never played that game. Ben's been out for either being suspended, being injured, or whatever the case is. So he'll at least start the game. He'll at least be there unless something unforeseen happens this week in practice. So we'll get that going for us.
Yeah, it's funny. I didn't see it down at that game. I was away.
You know what? So was I.
I went to a surprise birthday party for my cousin.
Oh, that's cool.
So I had to go. And
they don't
Saturday night I went to see the king of Division III football. Mount Union College.
They're something, aren't they?
Oh, my God. 62-0.
We had a Highlands kid play there. Scott Panchik played there. You know, and not only that, the Highlands PA guy who's been there for over 50 years since the Eisenhower
he retired. His
administration.
son took over.
Joe Holliday went to Mount Union also. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they have a Lower Borough quarterback there now. There was a quarterback last year. What was his name? From Borough?
Jim. Well, you talking about Jim Lippett?
No. I'm talking about the quarterback. Let me see.
Well, Jim Lippett played quarterback for Borough last year.
Well, who was the one the year before then? Must have been the year before.
Good question. Now you're killing me.
I can't think of his name
I'll
now.
come up with it.
Because I see it on the roster, and there's guys from Plum, Penn Hills, Central Catholic. There's some guys.
They do a good job over here. I mean, and like you said, they are an absolute machine.
Oh, I mean, that poor team, a popsicle would have had a better chance in the Sahara than they did. It was so bad. I'm going to tell you, 3 times Mount Union drove down. They were on a 5-yard line, first and 10. They kicked a field goal. The next time down, they were on a 10-yard line, first and 10. No, it was 4th and 1, and the holder muffed the snap. The kicker picked it up, ran for a first down. So now they're on the 5-yard line, and they kicked another field goal. Then they came down again, first and 10 on a 10. They kick a field goal because they could have walked in easily 3 more touchdowns there.
I'll tell you what. We had one.
Hey, what are you going to do?
We had one with Highlands and Derry a couple of weeks ago. Now think about this. The score was 49-0. Highlands had scored a touchdown, 49-0. Now it's 55-0. So they send the backup. They send the backup kicker and the backup holder out, okay, to try the extra point. The backup kicker muffs the snap, picks it up off the ground, yells fire, runs around the corner, and runs into the end zone for a 2-point conversion. I looked at Choman and said, I don't think we're getting out of here. I don't think we're getting out of here because now it's 57-0 instead of 56, and they're probably not going to like that very much.
Hey, I want to know something. On Saturday, did a bus get lost going for Valley? The half the players didn't show up or what?
You know what? The way I heard and understood, the Viking team was just not the same. The person I spoke with just said, they just didn't show up for the game.
Oh my! I was shocked when I heard that.
It was a ball club. It was a ball club that Borough defeated on their home field. And I kind of thought that Valley would not really have, necessarily an easy time.
No.
Borough struggled with that team in the first half. Boy, they came out of the second half smoking.
Yeah, it was 6-6 at halftime. What I see in the paper, and then they scored 20 points in the fourth quarter.
Well, Matthews got hurt
in the first half.
Early on, I guess it was he got hurt on defense,
and
then I think they might have already had the 6 points by the time he went out, and then their offense really struggled after that.
Oh boy! Oh well, that's what happens. But in the meantime, how about the Boston Rabbis? Did you watch that game last night?
I did, and I had made a comment about that. I get a perverse joy out of the suffering of Red Sox fans. And the minute I said that, it was like 04 and they're playing the Yankees again, or 05, whatever it was that they had their big comeback. And it's like, and then Joe Buck barely got the words out of his mouth that Ortiz has never homered off Benoit.
Yeah. But it's amazing. I'm watching. I said, I thought these were the Sox, not the Rabbis. They all got beards.
That's on purpose. So
I figured that. For some reason. But hey, I give them credit. 5-0, come back to win.
It was a great comeback, and they say there's no momentum in baseball. Well, here's all I know. When that game got tied, there was no way that Detroit could win that game. And,
no, not after that. You're right.
And here's the problem. In a best-of-7 series, that you can't afford to give away a game that you already had won. You can recover from that game in June. Look at the Pirates. The Pirates even recovered from that game in September, 2 of them.
Right.
They still had time to regather themselves and recover from 2 games that they gave away in September. But I don't know that you can do that now.
No, I don't know either.
And my wife,
you're right.
And my wife said to me, Jim Leland still managing?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he's still there.
Yeah, well,
How about Tommy Lasorda at 85 today? But
how
long's he been? Yeah, he's 85.
Wow.
How long ago did he leave managing?
Oh, a good while ago now, geez.
Well, he was managing when he was in his 60s.
and maybe
Well, he's
into his-
85.
maybe into his early 70s, but
Yeah.
into the
Yeah.
90s. Well, into the 90s for sure, but not too much after
No,
that.
no, it's the early part, I think.
Yeah, Davey Johnson I think Davey Johnson was with the Dodgers in the late 90s.
gives-
So
And I'll tell you what, it gives me pause to reflect on the career of Connie Mack, who coached or managed, and he was well up in years when he finally left.
he was
Yeah.
in his. I think he may have been in his 80s.
Early 80s.
Yeah,
Early 80s.
Hey, by the way, I
so-
found the Burl Buck on Mount Union. Zach Middleby,
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
yes,
it. No,
Zach.
that's it.
defensive
That's the
back,
one.
right? Way
Yep.
up, 6'2", 200.
Yeah.
I had his father in Little League Baseball.
The Middleby's are a name of yes. It says New Kingston, Pennsylvania. Kingston is what they have listed, and then they have Burl after that. It's like I guess they kind of thought they might.
Well, yeah. In the program, they had New Kensington, and then they had School Borough.
Right, exactly.
So, whatever.
Right.
They got it either way.
Tony, let's do some
it was
trivia.
nice to see them. Somebody from our area there,
Oh, they're terrific.
and it was nice. And hey, what the heck? Oh, and I'll tell you, man, they had 107 kids on the team.
Oh,
Yeah, all dressed. But the first time I ever went there, that was years ago, there was 189 that come out on the field.
Oh,
wow.
my gosh.
Yeah,
That's
they
an
said
army.
their freshman class is down this year.
now who did they play this week, Tom?
I can't even remember the name. It was so bad. What the heck was the name of that team?
I'll find it.
Hey, you know what? About 3 o'clock in the morning, I'll remember. I'll give you a call.
I was going to say you can
Don't
give me a
call
call. They played Wilmington,
That's it, Wilmington.
62
Yeah,
nothing.
that's it.
Well, how do you know that they played at Ohio Northern the week before that, and they won 58-7?
Yeah,
But
right,
The week
right,
before that,
yep.
Tony, they played Marietta at home. They won 84-14.
Right, and the first game was the toughest game they had. It was it was
They
close
played
game.
Franklin
but
out of
that's
Indiana. They
it.
won by 3 points at the Muskingums and
Yeah.
whatever. Goodness.
Tony, let's do some trivia.
All right, my man. Let's go for the salami.
All right, pick 1 to 5.
1 to 5. Let's see. 1 to 5. Let's go with 3.
Michael,
Russian
you want to handle
weightlifter
this
again?
one? I'll let you pick. You want me to do it or do you want Mike?
That's right.
What's that?
Ask the question.
Okay, last week you did it. Give it to Mike this week. I'm going to alternate.
Here we go. What former Pittsburgh Pirate? You get George next week. You can have him do it.
What former what?
What former Pittsburgh Pirate is the only major leaguer to steal home in an All-Star game? What
Pie Traynor.
What former? And you said who?
Pie Traynor.
That's correct, Tony.
There you go.
Tony, we have a winner. When was the last time you won?
Oh, I think when he hung Mussolini.
At the filling station.
That's
Yeah,
number 25.
it has been a while, but there
Well,
you go.
congratulations on your
Hey.
salami win.
All right.
All right,
I'll call
Tony.
you tomorrow, Bob. I want to talk to you a little bit. At home.
So you're going to, okay, all right.
All right, buddy.
Take care.
See you,
Hey,
Tom.
guys, thank you.
Thank
All
you.
right, in the meantime, we will break and come back with, I think Mark is on the line with us. Mark, hang in there. We'll get right to you in a moment.
.380 Auction and Discount Warehouse, Route 380, Murraysville.
Automotive supplies, groceries, housewares, pet supplies.
All at discount prices.
Sofas, dining tables, recliners, dressers and desks, lamps and end tables.
All at discount prices.
Yard and landscaping supplies, special catalog orders, mattresses with full warranties.
All at discount prices.
School supplies, tools, paint, toiletries, model cars, toys.
All at discount prices. Get to 380 Auction and Discount Warehouse today, Route 380, Murraysville.
Why do Arnold Furniture's customers continue to come back year after year? Maybe it's the personal touch that the Miller family has provided since 1975. Maybe it's the prices that are consistently lower than the competition. Or how about the selection? 4 floors of living room, dining room, recliners, bedding, accessories, and so much more. Plus free local delivery, free setup, and free removal of your old furniture guaranteed. The choice is obvious. Visit Arnold Furniture online at arnoldfurnitureinc.com or stop in and see us today.
AKLC Studios LLC is the place for your video and multimedia needs. Let AKLC Studios produce a unique television commercial for your business. At your location or in our studios, we're here to meet your needs. Ever want your own television show? Let us show you how. AKLC Studios LLC can even tape your special events and weddings. Whatever your multimedia need, call AKLC Studios LLC in Leechburg today. Professional quality at hometown prices. Don't forget to like us on Facebook.
When you get a little bit hungry for pizza, take it from us, Mike and I. We'll both endorse a guy that has done great things with a pizza shop up in Brackenridge Heights. We're talking about Mattio's. Mattio's quality ingredients go into everything they make. Gyro sandwiches, their hand-tossed pizzas, subs, hoagies, calzones, strombolis, their wingdings, and lots more. Don't forget their signature sandwich, the Iron Man Hoagie. We got to cook up a promotion where one day we go down there and take a volunteer who's good and hungry.
Yeah.
And you know anybody?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. There's the number, by the way, was on the screen momentarily.
I could probably eat for a week on that.
Well, I told you my wife and I got one. It took us 3 days to get
That's
through.
two of you, right? Exactly. I could probably get 5 good days in on that.
Let's go to Mark. Mark, welcome to the program.
Oh, good evening, fellas.
Hey, Mark.
Calling from Lower Burrell tonight.
That's a good place to be.
Yeah, vacation day. My niece were out for a party for my sister-in-law.
Vacationing in Lower Burrell.
I didn't get a chance to see any football Saturday. We were at a wedding, but how good was that Penn State game?
It was terrific. It really was.
I had to listen to it, and I got to tell you, they, how many overtimes?
4 overtimes. And I thought that both coaches got really conservative, and especially Brady Hoke at Michigan, I thought got really conservative. Penn State, in one of the early overtimes, either the first or the second overtime, Penn State did not score with their possession. So Michigan had the ball knowing they only needed a field goal to win. And I thought he got really, really conservative. Basically ran the ball into the middle of the line 3 times and set up a 42-yard field goal. That's not a chip shot, and especially on the road. And you know, they didn't make it. And Penn State scoring at the end of regulation was the big deal there. They had a couple of unbelievable plays by Allen Robinson, made a couple of great catches, and Hackenberg was terrific. They won the game and deservedly so. That was a big win for them.
And did Pitt play poorly Saturday?
They play. You know, it was funny, Mark. You play against a ranked team on the road like that. Their offensive line has really taken a couple steps backwards, and that's what concerns me. Now you got to look at the only 2 games they lost were to very good teams. They lost to Florida State, who's one of the top 5 teams in the country. They have their big game with Clemson this week, and they lost to Virginia Tech, who is the top team in their division in the ACC. And the number 4 ranked defense in the country, Virginia Tech has. But 7 sacks against Virginia, a game they won. 8 sacks this past Saturday against Virginia Tech, a game they lost. They got to clean up some problems on that offensive line right now.
Okay, well, I got to rush today. They're holding dinner for me, so I guess I better go for multiple choice.
All right, Bob.
My turn. We're going to start with, in rotation tonight, question number 8. And it is I think one of the toughies. Who holds college baseball's single-season home run record? College baseball, who hit the most home runs in one year? And here are the 4 choices. Jeff Ledbetter, Pete Incaviglia, Lance Berkman, Brandon Larson.
Ooh. How about Brandon Larson?
Nope.
Nope.
Pete
Okay.
Incaviglia with 48 home runs in 1985. And for
That would have
somebody
been my
in college,
second guess.
That would have been your
Okay, thanks, fellas.
All right,
Next
Mark.
week I'll be calling you from work.
All right.
All right.
Okay,
Oklahoma
thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Bye. Oklahoma State. Pete Incaviglia. Oklahoma State, I believe. Yes.
Okay, Chris, I think, is up next. Terry? Okay. Terry, welcome to the program. Good evening.
Hi, guys. How you doing?
Hi,
Okay,
Terry.
haven't heard from you in a while.
Nah, we're out in the panhandle of Oklahoma for 2
Ooh.
weeks and kind of out of contact with civilization where we were. It was a half an hour's drive to get your cell phone to work.
What was the closest town you were near?
Well, something you've never heard of, I'm sure. It's called Boise City. It has about 1,200 people, I suppose.
Drilling for oil, were you?
Yeah, almost.
How do you spell the Boise?
Boise is spelled like Boise, Idaho, but it's pronounced Boise.
Oh.
I'll be darned.
Yeah,
Okay.
B-O-I. And the funny thing down there, across the border in New Mexico, there's a town that's pronounced Des Moines instead of Des Moines, like in Iowa, but they're spelled the same. So not sure what goes on down there, but it is a little different.
I spent a little bit of time in a town called Norman, Oklahoma.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. Lawton, Oklahoma,
Okay.
which was, I don't know how close that is, but very close to to Norman, I think.
Mm-hmm. Well, Norman is close to Oklahoma City, isn't it?
Right?
Yes, it is.
Right.
Yeah,
Yes, it
that's
is.
probably a 6-hour drive away from where we were.
Okay.
Yeah, we're out in that skinny panhandle about a mile from New Mexico, in the middle of nowhere.
We call it the Heartland.
Yeah, well,
Yes.
they call it the Dust Bowl down there.
Yes, they do.
Yep. But at any rate, so I get back from being media challenged and turn on the TV 1 o'clock on Sunday afternoon to CBS, and they have a science fiction movie on that shows the Steelers winning a game.
Yeah, how about that, huh?
I was very surprised. I didn't think they'd win one this year.
I was going to say, between that and we get the Indians and the Pirates both in the playoffs the same year, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
No, they played well yesterday, Terry. They really did. I mean, they played well enough to win, and they should. I don't want to demean the fact that they won a game. And finally, for the first time, when they threw that touchdown pass, when Ben threw the touchdown pass to Sanders, where he did the little backflip into the end zone there, and they went back to the pile of the offensive lineman and Ben. That was the first time those guys looked happy all year. Seriously, good for them. I'm just glad to see a win.
Yeah. Do you think that? And I didn't get the chance to see the game really, but do you think that this offensive lineman they picked up from Arizona, did he play? Did he make a difference?
He got hurt. He got hurt in pregame warm-ups. He may have torn his tricep in pregame warm-ups, and he might be out for a year without ever playing a game for them.
Oh, my.
So, but frankly, it's probably a good thing. They played Beecham anyway. And I mean, look, where they are right now, I don't have a problem with them making changes if they decide that the guy that they had been playing can't play. But you need to go to younger guys then. You don't need to be bringing in 10-year veterans to plug a hole. And I know what their thought process was. They didn't want to get Ben killed. They're protecting their $100 million investment at quarterback. I completely understand that. But when you have a guy like Beecham who they like, why not give him a shot? And I think after, he was a shaky start yesterday, but after the first quarter, I thought he played very well. So, I think he's earned a chance to play, and against a very good defense.
Yeah.
So, I think he's earned a chance to play again next week, and that's really all you can do right now. I mean, I've got myself in what I used to do with the Pirates with this now. It's basically, okay, did they get better from one week to the next, and are players improving? That's what you're looking for.
Do you think they have a chance against Baltimore?
Sure they do, because the Ravens aren't very good either. And, I mean, that's a team, they can't run the ball. They gave Flacco all that money, and to do that, they had to get rid of everyone else. Because they couldn't fit it in under the cap. So Flacco's making a big buck, but no one else. But there's no one else on the team. So they're floundering a little bit themselves, and it should be interesting. Like I was saying earlier, and when Tony had called, that in the games that Baltimore's played here in Pittsburgh recently, Ben never plays in that game. So this will be a different experience.
While I was on the road, I heard a little trivia question. I'll pass along to you guys.
I better make notes.
Yeah, if it's good, you might want to.
You remember the old days, the 70s, like Three River Stadium and so on, where there were all those cookie-cutter stadiums, and they would rotate the seats and go from baseball to football and then back again. Well, there are now, I guess, only 2 Major League Baseball stadiums that are being shared with Major League Football teams. And so the question is, which 2 stadiums are they?
Yeah.
Wait, we have a volunteer from the audience who would like.
Toronto would be one of them.
And Oakland.
Yeah, Oakland and Toronto. Toronto, of course, is the
Argos.
answer to the trick question because people don't think of the Toronto Argonauts as a Major League Football team. But I guess they are. And also, I guess Buffalo plays 1 or 2 games a year up in Rogers Center in Toronto. So I guess that's how it qualifies.
I'm pretty sure the Argos are coached by. They're coached by a local. Scott Milanovich, the Butler product, coaches a team in the CFL. I'm not sure which one. And the Argos are coached by, it might even be John Huffnagel, somebody along those lines. But they're a local. There are local guys that coach up there. I know Tom Clemens coached up there for a long time and played up there too, made a career out of it. So. But the WPIL had their footprints on the Grey Cup game last year. Both head coaches were WPIL products.
Is that right?
Yes.
I didn't know that. So, okay, well, I better get off of here and let somebody else get in.
Let's win something.
Yeah, well, we'll try. Well, I think this is my first call. Yeah, it has to be my first call this month because I've been gone since
you've been
September.
away for a while.
Shall we try the mystery profile?
Profile's available.
Okay.
I'm going to turn Bob loose on the profile. Since
Are you going to let me do this?
Yeah, go ahead, because this is. I'll tell you about my experience with this question after you're finished.
Oh boy, that doesn't sound promising.
It really
No,
wasn't.
it doesn't.
But I think you might have a better chance.
All right, it is sponsored, of course, by Matteo's Pizza. And I want you to make a note of that phone number. Whenever you're hungry for some pizza, give them a call at 724-904-7312. Also, keep in mind, pizza's not all that they do. There's so much more. All right, are you ready?
I'm not sure, but I'll try.
Okay, let's go to clue number 1 for $100 in prize coupons. Here we go. I am a former Major League pitcher who played junior hockey in the Greater Toronto Hockey League.
Ferguson Jenkins.
No. But you know what? That would have been my guess. We're down to $75. By the way, for the gentleman in our audience, that was Mike's guess, and that one was incorrect too. He said Tom Glavine. Okay.
That was where I went with that.
Number 2, $75. Playing high school baseball in New Jersey, I set a single game strikeout record that stood for 21 years.
Jeez. Well, I'm at a loss for any pitcher who came out of New Jersey.
Well, don't forget now, he came out of Canada,
yeah,
too.
but he went to high school in New Jersey.
Right,
okay.
right. We got to get an answer.
Yeah, I'm stuck, Bob. Go to your next clue.
All right, for $50, this is the one that floored me. In college, I was academically ineligible to play baseball in my senior year. I was academically ineligible to play baseball in my sophomore year. Sophomore year.
Now, unfortunately, you're mistaken. The clue doesn't make any difference to me.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm sure you're going to get it on the next
question.
It really is. And I can't tell you.
I double-checked and triple-checked.
I can't tell you what I'm thinking right now.
I double-checked and triple-checked every clue to make sure.
You, of all people, are going to kick yourself. Okay, go ahead.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Do you have a guess on that one?
How about Bartolo Colon?
Right church, wrong pew.
Yeah,
All right.
I figured as much.
For $25, Dodgers manager Tommy Lasorda nicknamed me Bulldog.
Oral Hershiser.
As it was starting to go, I'm thinking, oh yeah, he was kind of important with the Indians there for a while, wasn't he?
Yeah. Once I threw out Cologne and you said right church, wrong pew, I knew that's who it had to be.
You had to be going. There had to be an Indians thing there too with it. That's pretty funny.
All right, the Tinker Toy clue just for the heck of it, and you would have gotten it here regardless. I broke Don Drysdale's Major League Baseball record. I think it was 59 plus consecutive scoreless.
It was 50, yeah, 59.
59.
There were thirds involved, but they took those off for some reason because they were.
Yeah. Anyway,
it always cracked me up about the reputation of Hershiser being such a tough guy, because he had that baby face and those little wire rimmed glasses. He looked like he should have been a junior high school kid or something.
Yeah. All right, Terry, we thank you.
No, thank you very much.
$25 in prizes coming out to you.
Can't beat that. Thanks, guys.
All right.
Thanks, Terry.
Before we take our next call, we're going to jump to a break, and you folks be patient with us at home. Mike and I will be right back. This is where you get the absolute freshest deli meats and cheeses. Fazio's Italian Deli in Arnold. At Fazio's, you're getting only the best and freshest selection.
Fazio's has its own bakery and offers you fresh baked bread, rolls, pastries, and more. Pick up individual salads to go, Italian sausages, hoagies, custom-made sandwiches, even party trays for your next get-together. Freshness and quality every time at Fazio's Italian Deli, Leishman and Dre in Arnold.
Max and his son made their way homeward bound when mischievous rain dropped down, down, down. Safety was threatened by every roguish drip. They slipped and slid. They couldn't get a grip. Then along came the Michelin Man, reminding them the right tire changes everything. Stop up to 31 feet shorter than a leading competitor with the new Michelin Defender tire, backed by a 90,000-mile warranty. Michelin, a better way forward.
Available at Highland Tire under the bridge in Tarentum and Freeport Road, Natrona Heights. Westmoreland Insurance Services isn't like your ordinary insurance agency. Not only can you get a variety of quotes from leading insurance companies, but you can purchase that protection through Westmoreland Insurance. Westmoreland provides a full range of coverage for all of your automobile needs. Westmoreland Insurance Services, putting your family's safety in their family's hands for almost 40 years. Give them a call, 724-337-3557.
You know, where you buy your vehicle is just as important as your choice of an automobile. And that's why we suggest Tower Auto Sales in Blawnox, because you have the luxury of choice. Let their experienced sales staff help you every step of the way. Call Mike Fanto at Tower Auto at 412-828-6202. That's Tower Auto Sales. Just buy it.
May I throw this in? We were discussing the Grey Cup last year. I know the big Canadian football fans that we have out there, but the WPIAL stamp that was on last year's game, Toronto won the Grey Cup, coached by Scott Milanovich, who was a Butler High Schooler.
Right.
And they beat the
They
Calgary.
went to Tulsa.
And they went he went to Maryland.
Okay, I'm thinking of Farrat.
And they played the Calgary Stampeders, who were coached by John Huffnagel, who's from Montour, who went to Penn State. Can you believe that?
How about that?
The WPIAL with their hands all over the Grey Cup.
All right, who's up next on the show? Welcome, sign in, please.
Hey, fellas, how's it going? Good
All right, John.
Hey,
Good to
John.
hear from you.
I wondered, just the thought, that the Pirates are out of the playoffs and the Steelers win their first game. Coincidence? I think not.
There you go again. Well, let's put it this way. If they were going to wait, that was the perfect day for them to do it. Now I'd like to see a winning streak. Can we have that? Is it, since there'll be no Pirates again until February, is there a chance we can have a winning streak?
Well, I always used to say the Buccos fans, they win back-to-back games, and all of a sudden everyone's saying they're winning the pennant.
Yeah.
I've already heard people saying, what if the Steelers make the playoffs? And I'm ready to smack people, because no, we're 1-4. No. We shouldn't be having this conversation
Exactly.
yet.
Like I said, you take each one as its own separate entity and you move on. It's like maybe, so now they've won. Now my mindset is, now maybe we can win next week too. That's what I'm looking forward to.
John, let me ask you a question. How would you like to be either a resident of Kansas City or Denver? Here are two teams in that same division or same conference.
Same division.
Yeah. That are both 6-0, and they will be playing each other
soon and
pretty quick.
Well, the good news is I think they're both probably going to make the playoffs. I think we have. I think we. If you're 6-0, you darn well better make the playoffs.
Oh, would I love to be 6-0 in Pittsburgh?
Bills.
What's that?
Tell that to the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, seriously.
Where are they here? Buffalo.
Poor Bills. Hey, they almost won
season.
yesterday. They made a nice comeback, and then they lost in overtime to the Bengals. So
2-4.
yeah, because
didn't they go 8-0 for one season? And it was just a couple years ago. Didn't they go 8-0 and completely miss the playoffs?
Boy, I don't know about that one. I would find that one hard to believe. That would be almost.
They had a really good season 3 or 4 seasons ago.
A really good start, maybe 4. I always find this, that there's at least one team. You'll get a group of teams that go 3-0. At least one of those teams doesn't make the playoffs, and that happens every year. So I think you have that on a 3-0. I know Arizona did that last year. They started off 3-0 and they completely fell apart. It usually happens. I have my eyes on like the Dolphins or the Bears this year for that team that was 3-0 that won't make it. But I'll tell you what, you get to about 4 or 5, it's really hard to mess that up. But the Bills.
I recall saying to one of my friends who's a Buffalo fan, going, this is your year, don't screw it up. And then they screwed it up.
It's been so long. I mean, that's the glory days to them are losing the Super Bowl. So
Hey, you're the second best team in the NFL when you lose the Super Bowl.
Championships.
That's right. No one else has done that.
What's
Well,
on?
I really called.
Yeah,
I wondered what you guys were, since I'm down here in Virginia and I'm hearing the forefront of it, what you guys thought about the whole Redskins naming controversy. I know that's a bit of a can of worms, but should they change it? Will they have to change it? Is King Goodell getting involved?
Of course they are. John, slap a potato on the side of the helmet and be done with it. They'll be the Washington Redskins. You change the logo to a potato, you don't got a problem.
What I don't understand is if no American Indians have lodged formal, large complaint, what's the problem?
I heard one today that seems to be, and this is going to happen within the next 2 years. That name's going to be changed. There's no doubt about it. I mean, it's going to happen because it's the next target that they put on something that American institutions are being targeted, and this is the next thing they're after. Okay, they're going for that. Now, all they have to do is change the name to the Warriors, and then they wouldn't have to change the logo.
Is the logo part of the problem, though?
Not if you're the Warriors.
Make it better?
Oh, because the Warriors is, well, it all depends on what Bob Costas says, doesn't it? Isn't that all that, thank goodness for people like Bob Costas, or I wouldn't know what to think.
Yeah, well, commentators getting involved, right?
Well, exactly. I mean, you asked. I think it's, well, here's what I think. I think that I'm offended by the nickname the Minnesota Twins. I think that's the worst thing in the world to have twins depicted as cartoon characters with baseballs for heads. And I think that's terrible, and I think they should change the name because it offends me. There.
So what's going to happen out of the Cleveland Indians? Are they next?
They're already trying to move away from Chief Wahoo.
Bob, they're not going to stop.
Will that happen? I don't know.
All they're going to have to do is change one, and then they're going to start to come after the other ones. And Daniel Snyder owns the team. I guess it's his deal. But and he can make the decision if he wants to. Heck, they've already had precedent down there. They changed the Washington Bullets to the Wizards.
So if I find out that my great-great-great-great-grandfather was a Caribbean pirate, do I get upset?
Maybe. This is what I'm saying about the Twins.
We may have to go back to
the
Pittsburgh Alleghenies.
I thought you were going to say that you were going to find out that you were 1/16th American Indian, then you could be a senator in Massachusetts.
You know who is 1/8 Indian? It's Johnny Bench.
Oh, he's from Oklahoma. That would make sense.
He's 1/8 American Indian.
I don't believe I have any Native American blood in my so my people came from Europe. It's kind of the way it worked here.
Yeah, ditto.
Yeah.
But I'm wondering, with the sense of sarcasm that permeates this area. I mean, look at District of Columbia's license plates. It clearly says taxation without representation. Wonderful sarcasm. I wonder if the Redskins might go the same way as the North Dakota Fighting Sioux, or as they're currently named, the North Dakota. Because North Dakota doesn't have a team name anymore.
Right. They just have it's just blank.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, the phone didn't cut out. That was North Dakota.
That was on purpose. Well, I knew what it was.
I thought it did.
Well, IUP changed from the Indians to the Red Hawks, but the high school is still the Little Indians. They have not changed. They have not bowed to the pressure. And there are quite a few that have. Miami of Ohio, Ben Roethlisberger's alma mater, were the Redskins, and they changed to the. I don't know what it is anymore. They might be the Red Hawks too. I don't know, but
I think they're the Red Hawks too.
They may be. They changed, yeah. So I think that once the crosshairs are on, I think that my prediction is that within the next 2 years this is going to happen. I think it is.
John,
good or bad?
I don't know where it's all headed, but according to Maestro here, it's looking as though this is going to happen with Washington in a couple of years.
I listen to Kornheiser's show on 980 every day, and they talk about this all the time. So if you need to get indoctrinated, if you have time during your busy day, I don't know if your students will let you listen to Kornheiser. But put them on and listen, and you'll believe me, you'll be educated in the ways of how things are down there.
John, let's do some trivia.
All right. Again, if you got hockey, I'll take whatever it is.
I don't see a hockey one on here. By the way, did you hear the caller on the mystery profile?
I did.
Were you surprised?
The wings for that.
Yeah, Worrell Horsheiser played hockey. I was unaware of that. I knew Tom Glavine did, but
I'm announced for a GTHL team. They came down and played Mercyhurst in a tournament. I'm trying to think which team it was. I don't think it was Bradford Rattlers. I think they were a different league.
Okay.
But yeah, no, I've actually, when you said the GTA, the Greater Toronto Hockey League, my ears perked up. Like, wait a minute.
Something you know about, exactly.
All right,
Yeah.
you going to go for multiple choice?
Yeah, give me a multiple choice.
Mike, you want to do that?
All right, John, here we go. Let's get a winner here. This would be a baseball-type question. Who was the first player to hit a Grand Slam home run on the very first pitch he ever saw? The first player to hit a Grand Slam home run on the very first pitch he ever saw. Daniel Nava, Bill Duggleby, Jeremy Hermida, or Kevin Kuzmanov?
Double D.
It is not the Duggleby. It was the Kuzmanov in 2006, September 2nd, 2006. I would assume that he did that while playing in San Diego. Daniel Nava, of course, plays for Boston. We know that one. Saw him last night.
Go for the Russian next time. Got it.
Go for the Russian baseball player. Exactly. It's not a Russian weightlifter question, but what are you going to do?
Yeah, exactly.
Thanks, John.
If they're
Thanks,
not
John.
hockey, they're all Russian weightlifter questions.
You got it.
All right, who's next on the phone? Do we want to break, or do we want to? Let's do Limo Man. Welcome to the show, Bruce. Good evening.
How are you, sir?
All right, fine. Good to hear your.
Oh, by the way, while you're in Leechburg, get your gasoline there. It's $3.31 a gallon.
It's going down. This is great news.
Just want to let you know that.
So what do you got for us today, Limo? Hey, before you go, I got one for you. Tom McCarthy was doing a football game on Fox yesterday. He's moving up in the world.
Tom who?
Tom McCarthy.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, he took over Harry's place for the Phillies.
Right, and he's done very well for himself since then, but he slid in yesterday with all the maneuvering there. They had
And Ryan Sandberg signed a 3-year contract.
Yes, he will be there. Well, that was a smart move. I hated what they did to Charlie, but if they knew that was going to be their guy, you might as well give him some on-the-job training, and that's what they did.
Nobody hired Charlie.
I don't think anybody's going to, Bruce. I think that the age thing, and I could see him being hired as a hitting instructor to work with young players because he knows his hitting. There's no doubt about that. I think that might be. I'd love to see him on television myself. I think he'd be great.
And Brett Favre is 44 years old.
And Brett Favre is coaching high school football.
Offensive coordinator.
Offensive coordinator, an unpaid position. He doesn't need the money, you understand.
But I don't know if I'm going to be back next year.
A Hall of Fame golfer by the name of Annika Sorenstam.
Annika Sorenstam, yes, I have.
43 years old.
Not many. She retired early to have
Why
children.
are we doing birthdays?
Huh?
Why are we doing birthdays?
Because it's something different. Bob Kirkland passed away. Do you remember him?
How do you pronounce the last name?
Kurland. Kurland.
No, I don't know him.
Sounds like a hockey name.
Basketball dominant big man with Oklahoma A&M. And by the way, you mentioned Norman, Oklahoma. That was the home of Patty Page.
The Singing Rage, Patty Page. I did not know.
Yes, it was named after Page Dairy in Norman, Oklahoma.
Now there. See? That's very good. Now, I would have thought she was from Tennessee since she sang that Tennessee Waltz song.
Oh, but that was
No,
so
she was from Oklahoma.
Norman, Oklahoma. How about that?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
In high school, surgery ends the year for a top running back with a WPIAL.
Shy McKenzie.
Shy McKenzie.
Yes. He's
You
from
remember that name?
Washington High. He was going to run away, literally, with the rushing title, but he got hurt.
Yeah.
And so he's...
Indiana renamed the street after, and there's no relation to Jim Nance because I asked him, another James Solomon Nance.
Well, probably the football player, Jim Nance.
Yeah, no relation to Jim Nance you saw on TV.
Right, this is Jim Nance, the football player that played back in the 60s. N-A-N-C-E.
Yeah. I'm ready for multiple choice, and I'm due to win. I hope so.
He's due
All right. You have question number 1 in rotation, and here we go. Name the only Major League pitcher who threw a World Series game shutout and in that same game had 3 hits himself. And here are your choices. Bob Gibson, Whitey Ford, Don Drysdale, and Oral Hershiser.
Oral Hershiser.
And guess what? You are correct.
Oral Hershiser night here on the program.
Yeah.
Okay.
Way to go, Willow.
All right, Bruce, thanks for your call.
Deep right center field, and this one is my beauty, Rachel Catalano, just out of surgery the other day.
All right, good luck to you. All right, break time here on the program. Sportsline continues in a moment. Since 1914, people in the local area have relied on the Resevich family in deepest time of need. The Resevich family is the oldest established name in the funeral profession in the AK Valley. Its reputation and unquestionable service speaks for itself. Now the proud tradition of service continues with a fourth generation. The Resevich family serves the AK Valley from two locations, 5th Avenue Arnold and Leechburg Road, Lower Burrell.
AKLC Studios LLC is the place for your video and multimedia needs. Let AKLC Studios produce a unique television commercial for your business. At your location or in our studios, we're here to meet your needs. Ever want your own television show? Let us show you how. AKLC Studios LLC can even tape your special events and weddings. Whatever your multimedia need, call AKLC Studios LLC in Leechburg today. Professional quality at hometown prices. Don't forget to like us on Facebook.
Welcome to Buffalo Bill's Roadhouse, the place for big appetites. Their great sandwich selection includes the Geronimo, piled high with generous portions of meat and fixings. Their barbecue ribs are the best in town. Half rack or full rack, they don't come better. Buffalo Bill's wings are everybody's favorite. Uniquely oven-baked, not deep-fried, and yet so crispy. Your choice of 13 flavored seasonings. Grab a bucket for the big game. Eat in or take out, credit cards accepted. Buffalo Bill's Roadhouse, Freeport Road, New Kensington, across from Felderelli Square. And don't forget about my book, Bob Tattern's Sports Minutes, a collection of over 300 sports stories, 1 minute in length. It's all it takes to read, and there's a bunch of goodies in here, all odd and unusual happenings in the world of sports. So if you would, check it out. It's available at Costello Printing and Graphics in Tarentum, Blackburns in Tarentum, Myrna's Brewery Outlet in New Kensington, and with the Hot Dog Guys wherever they may be.
And may I make you an offer on Bob's behalf?
Yes.
Buy the book, come visit us at the studio on a Monday night to watch the show, and Bob will sign it for you.
And I'll give you a free ball cap that has the tilt-down sunglasses.
Suitable as great Christmas gifts, and we're getting to that time.
That's right. I thank you.
And so, yeah, Bob, George's book too. Get George's book and come on a night that George is here. And I don't have a book, so I don't have anything to sign.
All right, Paul, welcome your studio guest here tonight.
I'm waiting for Milo to write his book.
I don't have anything to write about. I really don't. I'm a yodeler. I don't, that's it.
Or I'll write a book.
Okay, yeah, somebody can ghostwrite it for me. How's that? As told to. I can do that. But that's it. I can't see well enough to write anymore. I'm sorry, it's not working.
Need glasses.
Man, I got them. They're just not here.
So what games you catch last week?
The Ford City Sabres and Borough Bucks.
Yeah.
Kind of an okay game, and I was just disappointed the stadium was like half full.
For a
Friday night.
Parents' night or something?
Senior night.
Borough had trouble in recent years with Ford City, have they not? They have.
Seems like they always
They've run
do,
into Ford.
yeah.
This is kind of a down year for Ford City, though. They're not one of their better teams.
You know they had 27 dressed for the game.
Is that it?
Yeah.
27.
I don't see any AA anymore, but
And at halftime, it wasn't a bad score.
right. Here's one thing I've noticed, and I don't know, Paul. Maybe if you pick up rosters when you're at the respective games, and I know you could probably see it.
No, I never did.
You see Quad A games, and you know there are more kids there.
Right,
You can see
right.
there are more kids dressed. But what I've seen, and especially this year, and it's been happening more recently, and this is at the AAA level for me, that the freshmen are on the roster now, and it makes it look like there were more kids. And I wonder if a squad like Ford City You dress the freshmen. They don't necessarily have to play, but they're available to you if you need someone to run down on a kickoff or if you have injuries or whatever. And I know in Highland's case that they've played, they're not shy about playing freshmen. And that has really helped, and a lot of times they don't have a freshman team in Highlands anymore. I don't think they have a 9th grade team, and that or a junior high. They cut back in different areas in some places, and that can be.
And Paul, I can remember going to Riverview and doing a game where the Raiders hosted a team. Let's say, I don't know, did Vincentian have a football team?
They do now.
They had 17 kids.
Yeah.
They do now.
17 kids in the roster. So, I mean, how do you play? You don't even have enough to go, if you wanted to break it up and give somebody a good rest for a while.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing Highlands again this Friday against Ringgold, and they're much improved since I saw them in week 2.
6-1. Yeah, the only loss was to Mars, but it's going to be interesting, Paul, and I don't know what we're going to see. I have no inside information on this, so I can't really let anything out of the bag because I don't know. But in last year's game, this is a non-conference game, and these two teams are very good. They're both already in the playoffs, and both will need a win next week in the final game to get to have a possibility of getting a home game in the playoffs. And in last year's game, both teams had significant injuries down at Ringgold. Nico Law, the outstanding quarterback of Ringgold, was injured, and Highlands lost Elijah Jackson, who coming into this past week was the 4th leading rusher in the WPIAL. Both of those guys were injured and were unable to play after that. And I'm wondering, and I wondered out loud, are they going to treat this as a JV game? Are they just going to play JVs and not now? It's a senior night for Highlands. I don't know what that means, but are you going to get an actual reading on how these two teams stack up against each other? I don't know. I think it's an interesting question because of the schedule the way it is, and exhibition games, as we call them, played this late in the season. You don't want to get anybody hurt for the playoffs.
Don't they count Gardner point systems in AAA?
Only in conference games.
Oh, okay.
Only in conference games. Now, I have uncovered one small possibility, and that is that 3 teams are tied, 1 from each of the 3 AAA conferences. Okay? If the Parkway team had moved ahead for a home field game because they have more Gardner points, leaving Highlands and Ringgold tied, Highlands would have to lose to Knock for this to happen, and Ringgold would have to win the game at Trinity next week. Leaving those 2 teams tied, and Ringgold had beat Highlands, then they would use head-to-head, and that game this game this Friday would matter. It would have Ringgold be a home team, and Highlands would not. It's down the list. Highlands has a safety net of playing Knock next week and knowing that if they won that game, they only have 1 loss, and they do go as a home team. And I don't know if you guys agree, but having a home game in the playoffs is a big deal. First of all, the gate is good. You don't have to travel. All the things that are different about traveling to a playoff game are out the window because you're playing that game at home. It is a big deal.
So if Highlands wins at home in the playoff game, would they try to get the Highlands next game like at Valley or Deer Lakes?
Yeah, it would depend who they play, and I don't know what their seeding would be. I don't think they'd be in the top half of it. They wouldn't be in the top 4. I think they'd be 5 through 8.
So, and we are running out of time, so we're going to give Paul his trivia question.
Okay, I'll take multiple choice.
Multiple choice. Yours, Mike?
Yeah.
Okay.
5 relief pitchers are in the Hall of Fame. Only one of them also had a starting role. Name him. Bruce Suter, Rollie Fingers, Goose Gossage, Dennis Eckersley.
I'm going to say Dennis Eckersley.
And you will say correct. Dennis Eckersley started 361 games and relieved in 710. And that's it. It is a small list of relief pitchers in the Hall of Fame. And I think that might start to get bigger. I think Mariano Rivera will go.
Didn't he start for the Indians?
He played for Cleveland and Boston, early in his career. And then he was with the Cubs, and they tried to convince him to be a reliever, and he didn't want to do it. He ended up being released, and he went to Oakland, and the rest is history.
I was thinking either him or Goose Gossage, but but I picked Eckersley.
Paul, we got to run. Time is up.
Have a good day.
Thank you for coming up. So we had another winner, 4 winners on the show today. Folks, we got to run. I'm Bob Tattern. See you next week.
Mike Pavlik, good night.
Thank you for watching Sportsline, brought to you by Ace Hardware, New Kensington, AKLC Studios in Leechburg, Arnold Furniture, 5th Avenue, Buffalo Bills, New Kensington, Fazio's Deli and Meats in Arnold, Highland Tire, Tarentum and Natrona Heights, Mattio's Pizza and Subs, Brackenridge Heights, Resevich Family Funeral Homes, Lower Burl in Arnold, 380 Discount Warehouse, Murraysville, Tower Auto in Blawnox, and Westmoreland Insurance Services of New Kensington.